joined by Bill Korn, the Chief Financial Officer of MTBC. Thank you
Hi,
for being here at the NEBA conference with Equities.com.
thank you for inviting me.
So I'd love to first start off and have you just talk to us a little bit about your vision for the future of healthcare, and particularly in the technology space.
Sure. So, our view at MTBC is that first and foremost, the doctors are all about providing care for their patients. And what we try to do is we try to simplify things. We try to use technology to do things to free up their time so that they can really focus on what they do best.
As a technology solutions provider in this medical industry that has been in the space for almost 2 decades, what are some of the biggest pain points that many don't realize?
Sure. Well, one pain point that I think everybody realizes is electronic health records. Uh, the government's been incenting doctors to use them. More and more doctors are using it. But tell me how many really actually like working with the computer. And so we've tried to develop an electronic health record system that's a little more user friendly. Ours is called Talk EHR, and as the name suggests, it gives doctors the ability to talk. It's also got a bit of artificial intelligence built in, so they can do some things in the background, and again, try to let the doctor focus on the patient.
So you've had a nice success story in terms of growth. You took the company public a few years ago and have continued to grow from a revenue standpoint. Could you talk to us about the business strategy overall and what's next on your growth path?
Sure. So we went public in July of 2014. We were 10 million in revenue before the IPO, and people said, "You guys are way too small to go public, especially on Nasdaq." One of the things that we did is we actually bought three companies on the day of the IPO, so that allowed us to grow our scale a little bit. We've gone from 10 million in revenue to a little over 50 million in revenue last year, and we've guided the street to 63 to 65 million this year. And there's really two aspects of that. One is there has been some good organic growth, and while it hasn't been as big a focus for us, last year 14% of our revenue came from customers who we signed up during 2017, and 14% organic growth is probably pretty good for most companies. But for us, the way we've been able to achieve 37% annual growth has actually been through acquisition. So we often are looking for companies in the space who don't have some of the things that we do, and we say, how can I take what they bring to the table and make it more valuable? And I think what we have is first and foremost this technology platform that we've developed in an integrated form. We've got a great offshore team. We've got 2,000 people offshore, and we recognize that in most situations, just saying I have great technology by itself is good, but doctors often want more. They want somebody who can submit their claims to insurance, follow up on their behalf, answer the telephone when patients have a question. So we provide that as part of our service. And we've done a lot of acquisitions. In the 4.5 years that we've been public, we've done 13 deals. Many of them were very small. The last two were bigger. And we've really honed this process. So we know first how to look for companies where we can add value. And second, how do we very quickly integrate the people into the business, think about where I can apply the technology, and what can I do better using our low cost team, and that's really allowed us to grow.
It sounds like a phenomenal business model that has really worked. As far as the technology platform is concerned, and as you look for some of the new companies to potentially acquire or incorporate into your organization, are you often looking for the emerging technologies, AI companies, for instance, artificial intelligence continues to grow, or have you considered blockchain
Yeah.
as part of your technology strategy?
So good questions. So for acquisitions, we've actually typically been looking to acquire customers because we've got over 300 people on our technology team. So we've got some of the AI skills that we've incorporated. We've got blockchain skills. At the HIMSS Healthcare Conference last month, we were presenting talking about how we're now starting to use blockchain to integrate our electronic health record platform with other companies' EHRs. And we've developed that all internally. So, what we found is that right now, when we're thinking about acquisitions, it's actually been the people who don't have as much technology. That doesn't mean that there won't be a technology play somewhere down the road, but that hasn't been our focus up until now.
How has technology evolved in this space? You came from IBM originally, and I know spent some time at a number of different aspects of technology and
Mhm.
startups, everything from semiconductors. Explain your evolution as a technologist and as a financial executive as well.
Sure. So I've spent most of my career with small growing technology companies, and as you said, it's been a lot of different fields. And I think when I was at IBM, who most people don't think of as a small growing company, but I was involved in, for example, putting the first flower shop on the internet, building e-banking solutions, way back before people had ever heard of e-banking. And technology has always really been to me a tool to solve people's business problems. And when IBM was thinking about my box is better than somebody else's box, it's 5% better, that was the period where IBM had some challenges with its growth. And instead, with the focus on let me understand your business needs and help you do your job better, and you don't really care what's inside the box. All you care is that I enable you. And I think the same is true with healthcare. What doctors need more than anything right now is a technology platform that's unobtrusive, a vendor to work with who can handle the billing with the insurance and follow up on their behalf, and let them just focus on the patients.
What do you see as the future of this industry? Clearly, there's still a lot of innovation, room for a lot more innovation, and you all have streamlined a very cumbersome industry. But what do you see is next?
Yeah, so maybe we aren't yet ready to do the days of the Star Trek doctor, where they can wave a little magic wand over someone and cure them. But the idea that the technology can assist the doctor and make them just that much more efficient, we think that's what it's all about.
Sounds terrific. And lastly, just on a personal front, from a management standpoint, we talked a lot about your background, but what advice would you give to future entrepreneurs that are interested in this space, and maybe also explain your management philosophy?
Sure. So I'm very fortunate that I've got a great team of people working for me, and throughout MTBC we have a phenomenal team of people. And what I've always learned is you can hand people really difficult challenges. We're going to buy this company next week, and we're going to grow 30% overnight. And you think it's an unsolvable problem? Great people look at that and they come up with innovative ideas, and they exceed your expectations every time. So to me, watching people grow, helping them to develop and solve new problems, that's what makes it really very satisfying.
It seems like a great motto, and I wish you continued success and best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.